Chandler Smith, and today I am here with the one and only Jimmy Rex, who has actually sold over 2,200 homes in the course of being a realtor, and over half of those have been sold to investors. And so today, he's gonna show us everything that you need to know about picking the perfect realtor to help you to start investing in real estate. So with that being said, let's jump into it. All right, guys, to jump into this video, I just want to share a quick story, and it is that early on when I started investing, I reached out to a realtor, and she was the sweetest lady I've ever met. However, when I started looking at properties to invest in, to start buying real estate investments, I found out very quickly that she literally knew nothing about investment properties. And that's no shot to her. She was a great realtor to help people find homes. However, she didn't know all the tips and tricks and the numbers behind investing in real estate. And so for all of you who are looking to get into investing in real estate with the right realtor, I brought in Jimmy Rex, who literally is the best of the best for providing deal flow for investors that are looking to get into real estate. So Jimmy, I'm excited to have you.
Yeah, it's fun to be here. Thanks, man.
Definitely. So right off the bat, I think one big question people have is like, what do you look for when finding a realtor that's going to be able to actually help you find a good investment property?
Yeah, so the realtors that actually understand investment properties and know how to find good investment properties, they speak the lingo. There's a lingo to real estate investing, right? Yes. So you just quiz them a little bit. It's actually that simple. Ask them about a particular home and ask them to send you a pro forma. So I know with my team, we already have, it's all built out in our spreadsheets and everything else. I can give you a pro forma on any house within 20 minutes. I can show you how it's going to perform over the next 10 years. I can show you the appreciation that it'll probably get. I can show you what rents are going to be. I can show you 6-7 years from now, if you sell it, how much money you should walk away from after paying realtor fees and everything else. And so if you ask them to give you a detailed pro forma and they can't do it, they probably don't deal with a whole lot of investment properties. The second thing is just ask them about a 1031 exchange. Say, who do you use for 1031 exchanges? If they don't do that, they probably don't work with a ton of investors. It's super simple. You're just quizzing them. It's just super simple like that, right? And the third one is I'll send them another building or whatever and say, hey, what's the cap rate on this? And then you can test it against your own self and see if they're accurate. And a lot of times they won't even want to do the work because if they're not investment realtors, I'll be honest, like before I worked a lot with investors, when I got those questions, I hated it. I didn't know what to tell them. I was just making shit up, you know?
I don't know, 8 maybe?
But I mean, the point of that is so by asking those 3 questions, just those 3 questions, you will know right away if they are a real estate investor agent. And the fourth thing you can do, this one's the best one, is just say, hey, what does your portfolio look like? I'd love to see what your personal real estate portfolio looks like. Somebody was trying to call me out online one time about this. They're like, oh, you always talk real estate investing. Like, send me your 10 addresses of your properties and if you actually have real estate investments. I'm like, I'm not gonna send some stranger my 10 properties. But he kept on blowing me. This guy was trolling the hell out of me. So I'm like, you know what, screw this guy. I sent him all 10 addresses. I'm like, look it up, pal, you know? And it's like, he went away pretty quick. But I'm like, that's the other one, because there's so many agents that don't invest in this, in real estate properties. And it's funny to me. It's like we come across the best deals. We literally have all the advantages. You get an extra 3% on every deal you buy, and a lot of agents don't do it. And so if they're not buying it themselves, they don't believe in it. They don't know how to do it. If they knew how to do it, they'd be buying properties themselves. So that's the 4th thing. Those are really the 4 key things to ask.
Yeah, I love it. And what I want to add to that is not just your realtor, but that's a rule for your loan officer. Yeah. That's a rule for your insurance guy. That's a rule for everyone that's in your team. You want to know that they've invested in that personally, that they know how it works, that they know the right way to set you up. And I see so many people that, they say they'll give you the world, but they have no idea what they're doing. And you end up being the one that gets roasted in that. So I love that. Now, with that being said, you are the man, all right, of finding investment properties here in Utah. And I know that because I've talked with multiple people that have connected with you. I've seen the way you analyze deals. I've seen all of that. The thing is you're one team, right? Mm-hmm. And there are those just honey deals that come in every once in a while. And I guarantee you've probably got your top 5 or top 10 investors that they're going to be the first ones that get a call from you on those honey deals. What do I need to do as an investor to be your honey deal guy?
Dude, it's a perfect question. So there's a couple things, and you're correct. You know which people you can send a deal. If I'm ever having a week that's slow or a month that's slow, and I'm like, I need to sell some houses, I will just go find great deals, because I know how to do that, and I'll just send it to my honey investors, or whatever you want to call them, and all of a sudden I get 2 or 3 deals done, right? Like that's what I do if I get in a slump, and it gets me out every single time. But so that being said, to become one of those investors for an agent like myself, I mean, my team sold 187 investment properties just last year in 2019. I think we have 60 under contract right now. Work with some of the top investors in the country for this now. But so, what we look for is, number one is make it easy to deal with us. Like, make it easy for me to call you. If it's a good deal, if the numbers make sense and we have a relationship of trust, like, people want to use me because they know they can trust me. I have a reputation now. People trust me. They know that I'm going to give them a good deal. I would never put you in a deal I wouldn't buy myself. Because of that reputation, you kind of got to trust me when I send you a good deal. There's nothing worse than if somebody's being all excited about buying real estate, I send them a killer deal and they drag their feet, or they want to wait to put the offer in. I'll even explain to them, look, we can put an offer contingent. If you don't buy it, you'll get your money back. And they still don't do it. I'm like, they're not ready. They need more. Maybe they just need more education first. And I love to work with them too, but they're not going to be my go-to investor. Now, if you have cash, obviously that's awesome, but you don't even have to have cash. You just have to be ready to perform, right?
And you've got to know you've got financing in place. Like, you got to know the guy when
Correct.
He gets an offer under contract.
Yeah, so I would say, like, if you're an investor, you want to have 10 agents that are sending you their deals. So just make an introduction of that realtor with your loan officer. It takes 2 minutes. Your lender's going to do it because he wants to work with you. Just say, hey, I need you to make a pre-qual for me. Let him know my situation so I can send it to these realtors. And you say, hey, just so you know, Chandler is ready to rock if the right deal comes up. He can go up to whatever, 500,000, whatever it might be, right? And then I know as the realtor, like, cool, that dude, I'm not gonna have to worry about it. I only have to sell this house once. Mm-hmm. There's nothing worse than having to sell a house 3 times. Oh my gosh, dude, like, just begging them to get their loan done and get it done right and everything else it's like, make my life easy, please. I've got other people waiting. So that's kind of a couple of the key things. And then the third one is, let the agent know that you want him to make money off of you. This is a key thing. I'll give you an example. I got a buddy that's a wholesaler here in Utah, and he had a deal, and this guy was the best wholesaler in Utah. He was doing 8 to 10 of these a month, and he always had great deals. And I knew he was making a lot of money, but he was still giving really good margins. They were the best properties to buy on the market. And so I told him one time, I said, hey, I know a lot of people probably beat you up or ask you about what you're making. I don't care. I want you to make your most money off of me, because you're going to want to deal with me in that case. And so I said, just you give me your number each time. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And if it doesn't work, come back to a number when it does if somebody else doesn't buy it. I'll just be honest with you and you be honest with me, but I want you to make money off me. And I was his go-to for everything. I remember one house, I ended up making like 60 grand on this flip. I didn't even have to put any money into it. I just bought it and put it back on the market, made like 60 grand. And I asked him later, I said, dude, how much money did you make on that house? It was just a $200,000 house. It wasn't a big house. He goes, I made like 45 grand. I go, dude, I made 60. He's like, I know. He's like, oh, so he's like, everyone else was pissed when they heard I was making 45 grand and you just let me have it. And I was like, of course, because I still made 60. So just let the agent know we're on the same team here. I want you to make as much money as possible because I know that I'll be one of your go-to people.
I love it. And that's something that, I can't preach enough with people. When I've got those connections with good realtors that have fed me deals, I'll even tell them, look, I want you to make your commission. And if there's extra, but you meet my number of requirements, take it. I want you to have that because I've got my requirement. I'm not gonna care about an extra 3 or 5% if I meet my requirements. And I think that's such a big deal. With that being said, some of my favorite deals I've ever done with realtors have been off-market deals where they know they're going to get their return. I'm going to get mine. What do I got to do to be your guy to get all of your off-market deals? Like, is there anything, do you do off-market, or what's the trick to be the off-market guy?
Yeah, off-market deals, I'm an investor too. And so like I buy a lot of the best deals myself, just being honest, but I can only buy 1 out of every 10 that comes across my desk. And so I need to sell the other 9. And honestly, off-market deals is kind of the things I just said. I just need to know that you're going to be willing to perform. If I've seen the property or I can send somebody to take a video, that needs to be sufficient to at least get the offer in, stuff like that. Because sometimes, especially with the off-market deals, a lot of times you can't go see it. You can't go through it. They're not ready to show it yet. And so you kind of have to take the realtor's word for a lot of things. But that's the only other thing I would say is just make it, I value my time above everything and I want to make sure I get paid. And so if you take care of those things with a realtor and just let him know you're looking. That's one of the things is like top of mind. I think one of the things that investors forget to do is to stay top of mind. Because I'm busy. I got so many clients I'm working with all the time. Sometimes a deal comes through and I just think of a different client. So if you're always hitting me up, like maybe if you're buying other properties, send it to me when you buy it. Just send me a quick text. Say, hey, I found this property. Just an example of what I'm looking for. Would love to find something similar. And you go top of mind again. All of a sudden, I'm thinking about you as opposed to the other investors.
I love it. Now, with that being said, what are some things that people can do once they get you locked in? You're their guy. But have people ever done stuff that just blows it for them? Like, are there things that we can do as investors that you'd be like, holy cow, man, I don't want to work with you anymore, other than the things you've already listed?
Yeah, I mean, the things I've already listed, one thing with me is I have a team. My team is everything to me because the way I structure everything is I'm kind of the pilot flying the plane and my team takes care of everything, the crew, And so if you treat my team poorly in any way, then you're gone. I don't care. I don't even want to work with you. Like how you treat them is what shows me who you really are. And the funnest thing about this job is helping people create this wealth and helping people find these properties and all that stuff. And so I think just one thing, everything else we just talked about, but one last thing is go out of your way to be super nice to my team and my team's spouses or the people I'm working with, the title company I'm working with, my loan officer. Like, let those people know that you appreciate them as well, because that makes me look good, right? So when you're working with my team, use my loan officer if you are getting a loan. Use my title company, like let me know that, I actually want to benefit the people that benefit you. Yeah. That's a really cool way to show that and to show that appreciation for getting those deals.
I love it. Anything else you would tell new real estate investors that they need to know about picking up a realtor or getting into investing in real estate?
Find a good realtor first. Like, find the ones that are actually doing deals. You can, again, go to each office or find out who is truly selling properties off the MLS. Find out who's working these systems. And, you probably have to interview 10 or 15 agents to find who the right one is. Or I would even call real estate offices and say, who's your number one agent working with investors? I would say something like, I'm going to interview the best agent from the brokerage I pick. I'm picking 5 different brokerages, one agent from each. Because you say something like that, they're going to give you their best. As opposed to be like, I'm going to pick one of 5 agents. Well, we got 4 you can interview. No, I want your best, because if it's not him, I'm going to Century 21 or Remax or whatever else. And then you'll get the best of each brokerage.
I love it. No, that is perfect advice. Well, Jimmy, thank you so much for being on here. It's an honor to have you. And that's incredible advice. Like, I can't preach it enough. Everything in real estate investing, especially in this market, is about deal flow. And if you get the right connections with realtors because you are a good investor and you found a good realtor and you've won them over to where you are their guy, you're gonna have so much more deal flow and you're gonna be able to really grow at the rate that you want to. So with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, please push the like button, subscribe to the channel, and go check out Jimmy Rex's channel. We're gonna put a link below so you can check out his Instagram and you can check out his YouTube. And again, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.
Take care.